Hi guys, welcome to My Pet Pigeon. My name is Melissa, and in this video I'm going to talk about why pigeons are better than parrots. Now, before I get into this, let me just say, I love parrots. I think they're amazing animals. But amazing animals don't always make great pets. So before you get mad, just chill out and remember, I'm biased. I've never had any bird until I've had this pigeon when she flew into my front yard and needed rescuing. So this video is about why pigeons make better pets than parrots. The first reason, pigeons are domestic. Pigeons are one of the only birds that are actually domesticated, kind of like cats and dogs. All other birds really are wild, and they belong out in the wild with their flock. So pigeons are much more easy to live with because they're calmer, and they're used to being around people, and even people can make a flock for them if they're the only pigeon in your home. Next reason, pigeons can't really hurt you that much. A bite from a parrot is actually really painful and can cut into your skin pretty bad. Their beaks are sharp and strong, and they're meant to chomp into fruits and really tough things, so they have a big, strong bite. Pigeons, on the other hand, their beaks are only designed to pick up little seeds and things, and they don't even chew their food, and they don't bite into their food, and so their jaw muscles are rather weak. And so if you did ever get bit by a pigeon, it actually doesn't really hurt that much. And it never makes you bleed. So at worst, if a pigeon's mad at you, the most they do is maybe give you a little wing slap or a peck, or they can tug on your skin. But it's not the kind of damaging thing that a parrot could do to you. Pigeons won't chew up your house either the way parrots are known to do. They don't chew on wires, they don't chew on furniture, they don't chew on anything really. At most, they'll just go find loose objects in your house, usually to help build their nest. It could be silly things like tea bags or maybe your phone charger, if that happens to be available. But it never gets destroyed, and all you have to do is go get them back. Okay, another great reason that pigeons are better than parrots, and this is my favorite one probably, is that they're just so much more quiet than a parrot. Pigeons don't even open their mouths to make sound. I mean, there's no screeching that comes from a pigeon. At most, they can make like a hum, right? Their coo is with closed mouths. Any of their sounds have a closed mouth. They can make other sounds like a kind of a barking sound or a purring sound. But again, very quiet. Like if you're not in the same room with your pigeon, you're not going to hear it at all. So your neighbors are never going to complain. You'll be able to sleep at night or late morning or during the day or whatever you want. As long as the pigeon's not literally in your bedroom, you'll never even know you have it. Sure, you can't teach them any words, but do you really want annoying backtalk from your bird? And that brings me to the next reason. Pigeons won't give away your secrets. You might think it's fun to have a parrot talking to you and repeating things that you say, but do you really want a parrot listening to everything you say and repeating it? I don't think so. All right, Megan, I'll see you later. Bye. Ugh, Megan is such a butthead.
Megan is such a butthead. Megan is such a butthead.
Oh, hi, Megan. You're here. Thanks for coming.
Megan is such a butthead. Megan is such a butthead.
Pigeons are better than parrots because they are still trainable. You can train your pigeon with rewards like their favorite seed or a treat that they like to do silly things or useful things. I've known people who can train their pigeon to poop on the toilet on command. You can train your pigeon to do a little twirl. You can train your pigeon to come when you call them. And I have not done any of these things because I just haven't needed to do them. But it is possible. Pigeons are very smart. Some say even smarter than dogs. But you can train them. They just won't be very loud. Pigeons have a much more reasonable lifespan. Pigeons, on average, live about 15 to 20 years if they're well cared for in your home. Whereas parrots, some of them can live up to 60 years, so that's a really big commitment. Having a pigeon is kind of like having a cat in that sense. Another reason why pigeons are better than parrots is that pigeons are relatively cheap to own. You need a cage, kind of like this extra large dog crate. There are other cages. You can get fancier if you like. But in general, dog crates, you can even find a used one. It's pretty easy to do. They're everywhere. As long as you make sure it's the right size for your pigeon. Again, extra large for one or two mated, meaning a husband and a wife team of pigeons. They just need an extra large dog crate. Pretty easy. And their food is pretty cheap as well. Because they mostly just eat seeds, then you can get a big bag of it at your local feed store or even on the internet. And they don't eat very much every day, maybe a couple tablespoons. So, and if you just give them some fresh leaves or whatever their favorite thing is once in a while, they don't eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables the way parrots require. So it's actually really cheap to feed them. Another thing that makes them inexpensive is they're not chewing things up and destroying them. Even if it's specifically designed, for example, the parrots have toys that you give them and things that they chew up in their cage. You have to keep replacing them over time. Well, a pigeon's not going to do that. They don't chew anything up. Even if they have a few toys that they like, they're not destroying them. And also, if you're going to be in the San Francisco area, adopting a pigeon that's in need of a good home is only $10. So pigeons are not even that expensive to get when you're adopting them. I'd say that's probably cheaper than a parrot and definitely cheaper than dogs and cats in the shelter. So all in all, it's a pretty inexpensive situation. And my last reason that pigeons are better than parrots is because they're really affectionate and loving, but they're not super needy about it. They're not going to go crazy like a parrot's known to do. They're not going to pluck their feathers out with some psychological problem. Pigeons obviously still need love and care, especially if it's the only pigeon you have. But they just don't have this craziness about them that if you can't spend every minute of your day with them, they're not going to go crazy. They're going to be fine. So, and yet they're also really affectionate. When my pigeon Rose is not on egg duty, then she's often on my shoulder or on my lap. And in that case, she kind of reminds me of a pug or like just a loving animal, like a companion animal. And she wants me to just pet her and love her. And if I can't, that's fine. She'll live her life and be happy too. But of course, she's really loving and affectionate. And when she is on egg duty, then she spends most of her day sitting on her eggs. And I give her breaks throughout the day. But that's really easy for me to do, especially with the way that my lifestyle is. I'm not out of the home 10 hours a day. Now, if you are out of the home 10 hours a day, can you still have a pigeon? Yes, you can. Just make sure that when you come home and when you are home, you give them time outside of the cage for several hours. You give them attention. You just make sure that they know that they're loved and a part of your family, just like any other animal. And they're typically really fine. They're healthy. They're not going to go crazy. I hear a lot of stories about parrots going crazy when they're all alone or they don't have the attention they need, and I don't really hear that about pigeons. So pigeons make much better pets than parrots, and they're just meant to be with humans a lot more than most any other bird that you can find. If you want a friend on your shoulder, pigeons can do that too. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, write a comment if you have a question, and go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. All right, see you next time.